Hello class 5, welcome back. Children, before we continue with the remaining part of chapter 4 Peter Pan, let me tell you the syllabus which is coming in your second term exam. Now you have English literature as well as English language. Okay. So the chapters which are going to come in your English literature are Birbal's Khichdi, Peter Pan, The Mysterious Neighbor, and the poem The Plaint of the Camel. Okay, so three chapters, chapter number 2, chapter 4, and chapter 6, plus the poem The Plaint of the Camel is coming in your literature exam. Okay, now comes your English language. In English language, the syllabus are the syllabus is verbs, conjunctions, adjectives, okay, and nouns. Okay, so these four chapters, these four topics will be coming in your language paper. Okay, so whatever you have done in book as well as in copy, you have to go through them and practice them so that you can attempt the paper easily. Okay, now one more thing you have to keep in mind is the time period. Okay, you'll get 30 minutes for your exam. Okay, your exam is for 30 minutes. 20 questions will be coming, 2 marks each, as it was in your first term exam. And please be very particular about the time of login. Okay, when you have to log in. Okay, the time is already mentioned in your timetable. Okay, so be ready to appear for your online exams at the mentioned time. Okay, so all the best for your second term exam, and remember, cover everything that has been done in your book and copy, because your question paper will be objective type. So obviously book reading, chapter reading, thorough chapter reading is a must when it comes to literature. Okay, and when it comes to language, usage of the topics that we have done, that is verbs, conjunctions, how to use verbs, how to use conjunctions, how to identify transitive or intransitive verb, or to direct or indirect objects, or the phrasal verbs. So these all topics you need to practice, so that when it comes as an multiple choice question, you will be faster in choosing the correct option. Okay, so all the best for your second term exam, and let's continue with the remaining part of chapter 4 Peter Pan. Before continuing with the remaining part of chapter, let us have a quick recap of what we have read so far. Mrs. Darling has got 3 kids, Wendy, John, and Michael. One morning, when Mrs. Darling enters her children's bedroom, she finds leaves near the bedroom window. So, when she looked at the leaves very carefully, she realized that the leaves were from a tree which were not grown in India, which were not grown in England. So the first question that came into her mind was that where those leaves came from, and plus the leaves were from a tree which was not native of England. So it was quite surprising for her also, and it became more mysterious for her when her daughter Wendy tells her that the leaves were there because her friend Peter Pan must have visited her at night, and she says that she has never seen him, but because she never saw her because she was sleeping, but she somehow knows that he comes and plays flute every night, sitting on her bed at the footside end. So when Mrs. Darling asks her why she never uh, told her about him, she simply says that she forgot, and then she goes out to have breakfast. But just to make sure, the children's room was safe from any kind of intrusion. Mrs. Darling checks every nook and corner of that room. She looks under the bed to see if there were any strange footmarks. She also now there was a fireplace also in the bedroom. So she poked the chimney of that fireplace just to make sure that nobody was hiding in the chimney, and then she tapped on the walls to see if there was any hollow space or a secret room where somebody could hide. So she did all these three things, and she could not find anything. Neither were there any strange footmarks, nor there was anybody hiding in the chimney, nor there was any hollow space in the between the walls. So plus, when she looked outside the window, she looked down. She saw that there was nothing that would allow or that would help someone to climb up to the window. There were no ladders, and there were no pipes on which a person could using which a person could climb and reach the window. So when everything um, ensured Mrs. Darling that nobody can enter this room because it is at a very good height from the ground levels, she finally convinced herself that her daughter Wendy must be dreaming. Okay, so thinking that, she becomes little relaxed. But actually, Wendy was not dreaming. And how we come to know about this? Because the adventure of the children plus the mother, that is Mrs. Darling, um herself came face to face with Peter Pan one night when she was in her kids' room, letting her putting her kids into bed and helping them to go to a sound sleep. After her kids were asleep, she sat on the chair which was next to the fireplace, and she was sewing something for Michael, whose birthday was approaching. So while doing that, she sat on the chair and fell asleep. Okay, so let's begin with the remaining part of the chapter. Then her head nodded, oh, so gracefully. She was asleep. Look at the four of them, Wendy and Michael over there, John here, and Mrs. Darling by the fire. So after putting her children to bed, Mrs. Darling also sat on a chair which was next to the fireplace, and because because of tiredness, Mrs. Darling also fell asleep in a very short uh, while. Okay, so in that room that night, Mrs. Darling was asleep on the chair while her kids, Wendy, Michael, and John, were safely, soundly asleep on their own separate bed. While she slept, she had a dream. She dreamt that the Neverland had come too near and that a strange boy had broken through from it. He did not alarm her, for she thought she had seen him before in the faces of many women who have no children. Now, Mrs. Darling falls asleep on that chair, and in her sleep, she starts dreaming about Neverland. Neverland, you remember, is the magical place for children, and Mrs. Darling starts dreaming about Neverland. She dreams that the magical place Neverland has come near to the real world, their real world, the real world of Mrs. Darling, and through that magical land, through Neverland, a boy had come her into their world, and everything was happening in her dream, and in the dream only, when she looks at the strange boy's face, She was not alarmed. She did not become afraid because the face of that boy was quite, familiar to Mrs. Darling. It seemed as if she had seen that face somewhere, maybe in the faces of the women who have no kids of their own. Perhaps he is to be found in the faces of some mothers also. But in her dream, he had rent the film that obscures the Neverland, and she saw Wendy and John and Michael peeping through the gap. She also dreams that the boy had torn the partition, rent the film, means that the boy had torn the thin partition which separated, or you can say, which uh, hid the Neverland from the real world, or which separated the magical world from the real world of the children. And she also dreams that her three kids, John, Wendy, and Michael, were peeping through the gap that was there because of the partition being torn by the boy. The dream by itself would have been a trifle. But while she was dreaming, the window of the nursery blew open, and a boy did drop on the floor. Now, the dream that Mrs. Darling was dreaming about would have been unimportant, it would have been a trifle, but something happened that changed it. What was that? While she was dreaming, the window of her children's bedroom, it blew open. Blew open means it was opened by something like a wind, and a strange boy dropped on the floor. The moment the window of her children's bedroom blew open, a boy fell inside on the children's uh, bedroom floor. He was accompanied by a strange light no bigger than your fist, which darted about the room like a living thing, and I think it must have been this light that wakened Mrs. Darling. When Peter Pan fell on the floor, he was not alone. With him was a strange light which was very small. It was not bigger than one's fist. This is a fist. When you close your fingers and you wind it up like this is called a fist. It's a fist. So the light was this much small, but it kept on moving from one corner of the room to another, and that is what awakened Mrs. Darling from her sleep. She started up with a cry and saw the boy, and somehow she knew at once that he was Peter Pan. If you or I or Wendy had been there, we should have seen that he was very like Mrs. Darling's kiss. He was a lovely boy, clad in skeleton leaves and the juices that ooze out of trees, but the most entrancing thing about him was that he had all his first teeth. When he saw she was a grown up, he gnashed the little pearls at her. Due to the constant movement of light, Mrs. Darling woke up from her sleep. She was quite startled when she saw the boy, and immediately she recognized him. She knew that this is the same boy about whom Wendy was talking to her. That is, that she realized that this boy was Peter Pan. And what she observed about the boy was that he was quite young. All his teeth were first teeth, that is temporary teeth. We human beings have, temporary teeth and permanent teeth. Permanent teeth are also called adult teeth. You have read it in class 4 also in science. Okay, so Peter Pan was a young boy whose all teeth were milk teeth, you can say. primary were temporary teeth, which is also called milk teeth, you know, and he was clad in, he was wearing, you can say his body was covered with skeleton leaves, and he had a very, warm and loving, appearance. Okay, but when he saw Mrs. Darling, he realized that this person is not a child. This person is a well grown up female, and he becomes angry and he gnashed his little pearls at her. Here, little pearls stands for his teeth. He gets angry and he bares his teeth at her. That means he, growls at her, showing his teeth, just as an animal does when it is scared or, angry at someone or something. So, uh, realizing that Mrs. Darling was an adult, Peter Pan gets angry and he growls at her, and grounds his teeth in anger.